welcome to Tomes here in my office, and just recording an episode on iconic comics, some of the stuff that I've been supporting here on the channel. And I just wanted to go over one of the kind of the funny comments that I got way back when I first started doing stuff with iconic comics. Now, I say doing stuff with them, but you know what I mean. I have no affiliation with iconic. I don't work for them. I get no kickbacks for the videos that I do other than, hey, they sometimes share my video and I'm thankful for that. Now, Douglas Ernst and I have gone back and forth a good bit through the months, and you can see some of the art that he's shared with me up there on my wall. And he also, I was able to get some stuff from Soul Finder to kind of review and things like that. But that's really the extent of any sort of, like, you could call it a kickback. But really what it is it's asking, hey, can I get a copy of this thing, or just out of the kindness of their heart, they send me stuff to look over. Again, no affiliation, but it is pretty funny. I wanted to look at this one. It was probably the third video on my channel, if I remember correctly. I put it out back in February. So February 7th, 2022, if you guys want to see it. It is probably the most viewed video on my channel, which is funny because I do a lot of iconic comic stuff and I do a lot of Doug TenNapel stuff. And by far, this has gotten the most views. Now, it's neat to see some of the comments that pop up. And I'm trying to find it here. This has a lot of comments, but here's this one. This was written by a guy named Crackerjack, and so there's reason to suspect this isn't an above board comment, if you know what I mean. This account, Crackerjack, was created with no content. It was created in July of 2020. So it's just kind of a burner account, it seems. Has no videos, no playlist, no channels, nothing in the about, and there is nothing as far as anything. It is a completely blank channel. Now, maybe this guy uses it for his own personal stuff, but I just want you to see the comments that this guy made on my video. Now, remember, this is the third video maybe on my channel, so I have not done a whole lot at this point. I had just started the channel. And look at what he says. He says, "You are supporting a group of people that have worked with known white nationalist Vox Day for the alt hero and as known blogger Doug Ernst, who has harassed various comic book professionals and is using the customer card to act like a petty child to attack various creators due to minor comments. Again, there's some grammar errors, so I'm doing my best to read this succinctly. But he says, let me start that over. Known blogger Doug Ernst, who has harassed various comic book professionals and using the customer card to act like a petty child to attack various creators due to minor comment pros like Slot, Wade, and many others who have been vocal on sites like Twitter and Facebook." Now again, let me just give you this one piece of advice. If you are going to insult someone, if you're going to tear into someone, please make sure that your sentences are at least vaguely discernible. That's all I'm going to say. I don't belittle people for grammar mistakes, but if your grammar is so bad that it causes me to not be able to read your sentence properly, that's something. And especially YouTube, where you can go and correct your edit. Yeah, anyway. Now, he goes on. He says, "Tim Lim hates the LGBTQ community and hides behind Christianity as a scapegoat. He is one who has worked with Vox Day on a variant cover, who has no morals to call himself a conservative, but an abomination of those who truly hold the values and allow various fans of their work of him and Mark to attack various creators and making various YouTube videos that use the customer card to harass and bully those they have no reason to attack. They enable it and pretend to act innocent to those who are fans of their comic. There is nothing original of this book being a My Hero / Miss Marvel knockoff with pointless Easter eggs and mediocre writing hiding behind right-wing propaganda." Now, in order to get the context, the book I was reviewing was Wall Might, which is a spoof of My Hero Academia. And so you'll see My Hero Magademia and a lot of spoofs. All right. So you have My Cocoon and you have Dekukun. All right. So you've got some of the spoofs there. Wall Might and All Might. It's a very obvious parody. It's parodying Attack on Titan. It parodies Goblin Slayer. It makes a JoJo ref. Okay. watch the video, you'll see a lot of the references that I brought up there. But this is a comment, and this was like the first thing that kind of appeared on my page, and I was like, okay. And I appreciated the guys jumped in and commented. So one of the guys said, my resume includes several works for licenses whose properties and whose creators I fundamentally disagree with. I still receive constant work because my employers know that I can handle myself professionally despite certain differences. I do not use my religion as a scapegoat. I'm not ashamed of it. I do not hate anyone or any group. And any of my feelings that may run contrary to my faith is only the fault of my own. I am not aware of any of our readers harassing any creator via YouTube videos, but since the term is generally used haphazardly to decry any barbed criticism toward the mainstream, it would not surprise me if our readers are behaving as consumer advocates. Likewise, I'm sure you will find readers and creators you enjoy making similar content, and I would not call it harassment, all right? So this right here is harassment, and yet this is okay. But anyone else does this, and this is bad. Okay, so I just want you to kind of see this context. Now, he goes on, he says, lastly, I hope you would give our books a read, as even in the first few pages you'll discover they are far from rip-offs of either that or named properties, one of which I have never even read or seen. So this whole idea of Miss Marvel, and you can see some similarities between, you know, like Captain Marvel type characters and Common America. But again, you can look at a character and go, I can make it better. That's fine. That's not uncreative, all right? Characters like Thor and the whole Ragnarok aspect of Marvel, it is completely ripped off of Norse mythology. That's fine. I'm big into Warcraft, as you can see all right here, all right? Warcraft rips off mythologies left and right. It is very uncreative, but at the same time, super creative, because they know how to adapt. That's what you do when you are writing a property. All right. Now, again, I appreciated Douglas Ernst, and this was back before we had interacted pretty much at all. He responded and he says, I love when our most embarrassing and intellectually bankrupt critics hide behind anonymous accounts with no content or followers because they know that they would become a complete laughingstock if they publicly tried these lines on, say, a YouTube live stream. And that's what you're going to see. You're going to see a lot of people who attack Iconic Comics. You're going to see a lot of people who attack other content creators. And either they do it anonymously or they do it in such a way that it's very hard to verify any of the facts. So I just come across and I say, you know what? I know there's been a lot of controversy. I know there's been a lot of fighting and arguing and all that stuff. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, I like Iconic Comics, so I support them. I like their books. They make quality books. They put their books out on time. You know, that's one of my grievances with some of the ComicsGate groups. Not only are they super crass on a lot of their live streams, but they don't put their books out on time a lot of times. Now, is that unique to ComicsGate? Not at all. All right, there's some ex-ComicsGate guys who I'm still waiting for their comic books as well, and I'm kind of miffed at them. I've been waiting for over a year, if not longer, for some of the comics. When you make a lot of excuses and can't find a colorist and all of that, I have a problem with that. Figure it out, all right? There's a reason I don't do crowdfunding, because I don't know how to do it. If you know how to do it, you better do it roughly on time, all right? And so that's what I appreciate about Iconic Comics. They make videos, they don't really make videos. They don't waste their time. But they make content that is timely, that is quality, that is good. And yeah, you might look at this and be like, Common America is too risque. Okay, then don't buy that one. That's fine. Okay, Soul Finder's too violent. Okay, Black Ops, whatever. Make up all the excuses you want. The fact is, at the end of the day, this is a creative industry. They've done a really good job, and they release quality work on time. So I support them. And if you anonymously attack them, don't expect me to take you seriously. All right? Now, I responded, I said, at the end of the day, I have just a few things to say to something like this. I don't have time to do every stitch of research to find out everything every author I've ever read has done. I enjoy their content. I find them warm and engaging, and I find the homophobia and white supremacy card thrown around so much that unless they've got a KKK hood hidden under the bed somewhere, I'm going to find it pretty hard to be convinced either of those. Sorry, I'm not taking your word for it. I went on. But this guy pretty much vanished and would not respond. And so that's the way it was. So I'm going to continue to support Iconic Comics. I like their stuff. They've been nothing but kind to me. They've put out nothing but good stuff. And yeah, I look at some of the Common America and I'm like, okay, it's a little too risque for my taste. I mean, I'm a man, so obviously the man part of me likes it, but yeah, it's not something I'm going to show my kids. It's not something I'm like excitedly putting on the shelf. But I support them. All right. I've said in almost every video I've done on Soulfinder, not a Catholic, okay, but it's still quality books. It's still good content. I still like it enough that I put it up there with my art from other book authors. All right. And hey, they got Alejandro Mirabal, which, as you can see, I've got a few things from him hanging on my wall. Guys, that's the thing. I don't support absolutely everything any of these comic artists do. But at the end of the day, I'm going to choose to say, I'm going to side with the one that puts out quality. I'm going to side with the one that puts out stuff on time. And I'm going to side with the one that, hey, they keep their promises. That is what makes a good quality corporation. All right. And I look forward to reviewing their new book when it comes out. I look forward to what other content comes down the road. And that is my take on Iconic Comics.